Hey everybody, before we get into the show, just want to let you know a couple shows this week actually recorded without the professional stereo microphone. I always want to be sure that I'm giving you your best listening experience. So beyond any education that I try to impart, any research that I found that I thought you may be helpful, I also want to make sure that it's pleasant to listen to. So it is my sincerest apology that a couple of these shows this week will have this intro letting you know that the audio quality is not what we prefer over the past 2,600 plus shows, and we'll make sure that it does not happen in the future. Now, by all means, though, still enjoy the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This is our Friday review, our end of the week recap. Looking forward to bringing you the best of the week. Of course, we'll be going over all the shows that you may have missed. I have a big research study for you here today, a really important one for hopefully many of the women out there that are suffering from blood sugar imbalances, irregular menstrual cycles, weight gain, bloating, acne, and much more. So we'll be talking a lot about that. Want to go over one of the top 10. So I'm going over one of the 10 mortality tests that you should run every single year so that you catch anything early when it can be dealt with. That's going to allow you, in my opinion, to live an extra 10 to 15 years minimum. So I'll be sharing that lab test with you. You can do it literally right at home. It used to only be available from a doctor at the doctor's office or from doing a really in-depth stool test. And now it's easy. You can do it right at home. So through the power of modern medicine, I'm going to share that with you. Excuse me. And then we have a product review for a baby food company. If you know babies, you have a few friends with babies, they're going to have a baby, you may want to share this with them. This is well beyond my girls who are now 8 and 10 years old, but it may have been nice to have a company like this back then. So I'm going to share one of those companies. There's like 3 good companies right now for sure that do delivery, and I'm going to share one company here today. All right, let's get started. What is going on inside the private practice, inside my life, and always giving you the personal updates from week to week. So hopefully you've been following along with my Instagram stories. If not, do please check them out. And the only reason I share that with you is that I really just give you a behind the scenes look as to how I'm implementing my own high performance health protocols. I share with you smoothie recipes. You can come along with a lot of my EWOT workouts that I'm doing. Also when I go to like advanced wellness based institutes and I'm using some of their advanced red light therapy or their hyper T-based devices, those types of things, I kind of share that with you too. And the reason I wanted to mention that, and it's first and foremost a thank you. We are now reaching over 2.5 million people just on Instagram. I mean, which is absolutely remarkable. So that's how many accounts we're now reaching just within the last 30 days and growing. So that doesn't include the millions of people on the podcast and all sorts of other different media. And so I just want to let you know that that does not wash over me. That is something that I am extremely grateful for, and I appreciate you. And the reason why this is happening is just more and more people are sharing the content. That's what it's all about. So if anything's helpful, as I always say, just feel free to share it with them. The information will always be free, and I do my best to get as much as I can to you. All right. So having said that, once again, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to continue to keep putting out content for you and kind of behind the scenes work on those Instagram stories as well. So just a couple things. First and foremost, I have to say this. It's Mother's Day coming up this weekend, just in a couple days from now. I want to thank all of the mothers out there. I say this over and over, but it is the most important job in the world is to be able to somehow do it all as a mom, be present for your kids, many mothers working, and just being there, for everyone, and sometimes putting yourself last, which many moms do. So thank you. I appreciate you. Happy Mother's Day. What's going on over at EquiLife? Well, there's a couple things. And the first one is I'm really excited about. If you have your own wellness center or spa or personal training studio or gym, and you would like to begin carrying EquiLife-based products and you would like to order a bulk buy, you can actually now do so. So we have wholesale accounts for people who have in-person based practices, and you're welcome to do that. Actually, what I'll do is I will link it up here today just because it's a specific link. It probably will work. So if it doesn't work, go to stephencabral.com/2653. That's where all of today's links will be. But if you want, you can just literally type it into your URL. If you own a wellness center, or wellness-based practice, could even be a health spa. And you can go to equi.life, that's EQUI.LIFE/health solutions. All right, check that out. And you can always just email the team support@equi.life if you ever have any questions or the links are not working for you. All right, so excited about that. Right now we have probably around 30 to 40 different centers around the United States carrying our products. And eventually we'll have a list of all different places that you'll be able to most likely go in and check out, whether it's a functional medicine detox, lab testing, whatever it may be. But like I said, our goal is to be able to reach as many people as possible throughout the world and teach them about the benefits of functional medicine at-home lab testing, as well as verifiable, proven to work wellness-based protocols. All right, let's get on now. This week going on over at EquiLife is a free giveaway of our daily Here support. That's kind of in honor of Women's Health Week and Mother's Day, because when we first launched that product, we actually thought it would be mainly men that were using it. Lo and behold, half of the people that use it are actually women. So we're glad that it's working for you. We appreciate that. We appreciate, of course, you being a customer over at equi.life. And right now, if you head on over to stephencabral.com/shop, you can actually get a free bottle on us on all qualifying orders while supplies last. All right, this week going on, or that's happened on the Cabral Concept. Hopefully you didn't miss any of these shows. Episode 2649, that was Monday's show. I talked about this, trying something new beyond positive thinking. If positive thinking is not allowing you to get the results that you want in your life, even though it is phenomenal, it may just not be that next step for you. So I gave you something to do instead of positive thinking that honestly is working for many people, and who am I to stand in the way of progress? So I love being able to share with you other people's tips, and that one was from Trevor Moad, a kind of guru to NFL athletes and CEOs and other people out there as well in terms of kind of peak mindset. All right, episode 2650 was how AI will inevitably take over medicine. So I gave you the 5 pros and the 5 cons. You want to tune into the show because I'm actually optimistic about the future of AI. I don't want to see it run amok, but I would check out that show for the pros and cons that we need to be aware of. Wednesday's show was do low carb diets cause energy debt and burnout? You'll want to check that out because I know you know someone on a low carb diet. So check that out. And then yesterday's show was reversing gray hair and skin age by 20 plus years with Yamanaka gene therapy. If you've never heard about that before, you'll want to check it out. All right, product review of the week. I would love to be able to hold it in my hand and show it for you here in video if you're watching this on video. If not, since I can't do that, I'm going to pop it up here. Hopefully our amazing videographer can pop up that image. It is from a company called Little Spoon. And the reason is I got this question from my team the other day, and they said, hey, what's the best baby food that you can recommend? And I said, you know what? I haven't had any babies for 8 to 10 years. And so there's been no babies in my house, no need for baby food for, the last, we'll say, 7, 8 years. So we did a little research, kind of poked around. We wanted to be able to give some good answers. And so we found 3 good companies. I'm going to give you one today because sometimes people get overwhelmed. I totally get it. And the company's called Little Spoon. Many of you, I'm sure, well aware. So when you look at it at first glance, their website is incredible. I love a good website. I don't know why I've always been like that. I've been around since pre-internet. And so I got to see Web 1.0 and it wasn't very pretty. But these websites are incredible. And so when you look at this now, it's better than ours. I have to be honest. It's a great looking website. What do? They do organic, non-GMO baby food for every stage. Made fresh, and it's cold pressed with the 100 plus different ingredients to choose from. And it starts at $2.96 per blend because they send you the pre-blends for many of these. Then they also do early finger foods. Clean, balanced finger food meals made for early bites and intro to table food. So it's bite-sized and it's veggie packed. So really nice. That starts at about $5 to $6 per meal. Then they have toddlers and kid meals for about the same price. And then they have smoothies as well for on the go for about $2.80 per smoothie. And these are all organic cold pressed smoothies with obviously all clean ingredients. So you can check out their whole website, but honestly, they've really thought about it all, kind of prepackaged smoothie bowls, all organic, all non-GMO, nothing artificial, 100 plus different ingredients, lots of different varieties. And then they also have like true baby foods, which are puree. And the puree is typically like 3 ingredients, sometimes 4, and all natural, of course. They've got like butternut squash ones, they've got sweet potato, they've got pear, they've got apple. So there's a lot to choose from. This is something that I have no doubt you would have taken advantage of because you just sometimes need things that are in your fridge and ready to go, right? So really nice, again, great gift, I think, for new, not exactly new moms, but moms with when their kids are maybe 6 months to a year old and they're starting to explore their first foods, something to take a look at and share with them. So there's a lot more. What I will do is I will link them up at stevencabral.com/2653. This is literally brand new as of yesterday. What we always do is reach out to the company and see if we can get you a discount code. So that's what we'll do. And if there is a discount code, phenomenal. We will link it up again today at stevencabral.com/2653. Oftentimes a company will give us 10 to 20% off for new customers. All right. So we'll take a look at that and we'll link it up if we can. All right. Instead of a book review this week, I didn't want this one to wait. This used to be a multi-$100 test, like $300. That's no exaggeration. It is called the FIT test, fecal immunochemical test. FIT test for short. I'm holding one variation in my hand. I have no affiliation with this company whatsoever. However, this test now is under $40. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. And you only run it once a year. So inside of High Performance Health, I have the 10 tests that you want to run every year to make sure that you stay free of disease and nothing sneaks up on you, because nothing will sneak up on you as long as you're continued to test every year. And when you start to see numbers move in the wrong direction, what do? You immediately begin to implement a rebalancing protocol so that you never have to worry about the 5 major causes of death, 4 major, and then the one add-on is Alzheimer's. And I would share that with you: cardiovascular, blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. And then the 5th one is Alzheimer's. But there's no way you're getting Alzheimer's if you don't get any one of those 4. It's like nearly impossible, because Alzheimer's has to do with dysregulated blood sugar, dysregulated hormones, inflammation, and much more. And for sure, it's going to show first with one of those 4. All right. So what is this test? It tests for colorectal cancer. That's the big one, right? Like, so important that you are looking for colon cancer. Like that's a big one, especially for women. So this is one you get results in 5 minutes right at home, no longer having to ask your doctor, convince them why you should be running this test. They should be convincing you to run the test, not you convincing them, and then having to pay a lot out of pocket. So anyway, this one tests for colorectal cancer, and then it says diverticulitis, colitis, and colon polyps. So no colon prep. It's used by doctors and labs, no special diet, no medication restrictions. It's really simple, really straightforward. I'm sure I'll be recommending all sorts of different brands in the future. Again, no affiliation. I'm going to link up the brand that I recommend now, and then I can link up others at the highperformancehealth.org/resources page as well if that changes. All right. So again, all links, including this next research, at stevencabral.com/2653. But everybody over the age of 30 should be running this once a year. It's too easy not to run this lab, just to make sure. Is it more rare to get it in your 30s? Yes. Not as rare in your 40s? Yes. Can you absolutely see it in your 50s, 60s, and beyond? Yes. Don't wait though. Not for like $30 to $40 a year. Like if you can do that, I know it's not affordable for everyone, but like if you can, phenomenal to do. 5 minutes, you're done. Run it again in another year. That's the nice thing about these 10 mortality tests that I talk about. Okay. Research study for the day. This is phenomenal. This is on PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. It affects 1 in 4 women, right? So it's important that I continue to talk about all of these diseases of the body, right? Diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular, cancer that are affecting 1 out of 9 or so they're saying now with diabetes. It's way lower than that though. Like it's way more aggressive. It's probably like 1 out of 5 minimum with functionally dysregulated blood sugar. right, before you get a type 2 diagnosis. I mean, they're saying literally 1 in 3 at the most likely by 2030. That's how bad type 2 diabetes is getting. Anyway, this is 1 out of 4 for women. And this is a tough one because this is during reproductive age. We're talking about women in their teens, 20s, 30s getting PCOS. And they're ending up with what? They're ended up with infertility, dysregulated menstrual cycle, acne, bloating, water retention, weight gain, thinning of the hair, all sorts of issues related to PCOS. So here's a new study, and it's on vitamin E. And it says vitamin E has been studied previously for its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and anti-obesity effects to improve metabolic disorders. Taking this one step further, the systematic review explored the effects of vitamin E supplementation alone and in combination with magnesium or omega-3 fatty acids on metabolic, hormonal, inflammatory, and anthropometric measures in women with PCOS. Across the RCTs included in the review, the vitamin E doses ranged from 400 to 888 IUs daily. Co-supplementation doses of omega-3s were 1,000, basically 1 gram a day, and co-supplementation doses with magnesium was 250 milligrams a day. Those are all fairly normal. A little higher dose of vitamin E, just to let you know, it's basically more than double the dosage that you would typically take. The rest of them are totally normal. I would actually say it's half the omega-3 dosage, and it's about right for the magnesium. So looking at lipid profile, supplementation resulted in significantly reduced serum triglycerides, VLDL, LDL, and total cholesterol, and the total cholesterol HDL ratios compared to placebo. So basically, well, let's keep going. For the inflammation oxidative stress markers, there were slight but significant decreases in high sensitivity reactive protein and nitric oxide levels. Okay. There was a significant decrease in hair growth, basically on the face, which is another hallmark of PCOS for women. These positive effects of vitamin E supplementation on lipid profiles, nitric oxide, and C-reactive protein were independent of weight loss, which is a commonly suggested treatment for women with PCOS. Okay, what does all that mean? This, by the way, I got, it's something that Thorne Research shared. They're a great company. They do great work. I like to always give shout outs. I don't believe in competition when you're trying to help people. I really don't. It's like whatever can help people, we want to share that work. So great work. I'll link up the study again at episode 2653. And what I want to share with you is this. Vitamin E has been used and been used in my practice. Again, not giving any treatment plans, not giving medical diagnosis, not giving medical cures or medical advice in any way, but we use vitamin E in our practice for, like 15 years. And it works phenomenally well for many forms of high triglycerides, cholesterol, et cetera. Now, you don't want to just do that because you don't want to deny diet and exercise and all these other things, but it works. Like you want the entire vitamin E family, and it works incredibly well, and it's a very powerful antioxidant. So when you look at VLDL and you look at LDL, well, those are more, and can be more oxidized forms of cholesterol, or can at least lead to more oxidation in the endothelial wall of the arteries, causing potentially more hardening of the arteries, plaque buildup, which in the long run is very bad for what? Well, stroke, high blood pressure, cardiovascular health, right? So we use those, right? So we're using vitamin E, phenomenal, your omega-3s, and your magnesium. Those are 3 normal things that people should be getting on a daily basis. You get all of your vitamin E that you need in something like the Daily Activated Multivitamin or the Daily Nutritional Support or your favorite all-in-one product. So there's that part of looking at the vitamin E that you want. You don't need to do larger doses unless you may be dealing with something like PCOS, and then you can simply add an extra vitamin E-based, so the entire vitamin E-based family. And that's basically the tocopherols and the tocotrienols. And the tocotrienols are add-ons, basically 4 and 4 to make the entire vitamin E family. And then the omega-3s, 1 gram is great, probably 2. I think, honestly, would probably work better. The daily omega-3 support is the one that we use. We actually like the higher EPA to DHA, especially with hormonal-based issues. And then 250 milligrams of magnesium, totally normal dosage. That's going to be about 2 capsules for most people. Many people can do 2 to 3 capsules a day. So again, no medical advice, just sharing with you that incredible results, not only for PCOS, but for lipid levels and overall C-reactive protein, which is your basically level of inflammation in the body. Why would that improve? Well, you're looking at two anti-inflammatories, natural anti-inflammatories, the antioxidant vitamin E and the natural anti-inflammatory omega-3, right? It's like there's no shocker here. And then magnesium helps to vasodilate or relax the arteries. So, I mean, 3 incredible products. In my opinion, everybody should be using them. I mean, honestly, that's like every single human. Now, again, there's always 1 out of 100 that might have a contraindication. Maybe you're on blood thinners, right? That's why I can't give you medical advice. You might be on blood thinners. You might need a little bit more calcium to magnesium. And so there can always be a reason, but there's very few. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully today's research was helpful. I always appreciate you tuning into the Cabral concept. I thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow actually answering more of your questions. If you haven't tuned in, the weekend shows are a lot of fun. We answer about a dozen of our community's questions each and every weekend. I never know what the questions are ahead of time. They get brought to me. They get put on a sheet in front of me. I read them. I answer them. I give you my best advice as if it was my own family, what I would do. So hopefully this is helpful. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have an amazing week.
Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at EquiLife, you can order an at-home lab test or lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquiLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.